Hey everybody, this is David, the Timeless Runner, and I'm coming to you with a talking session on yoga anytime, anywhere, for anybody. If you've watched some of my recent videos, you'll know that they're all shorts. And I've had a number of requests to slow it down, talk you through it, and kind of explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So if you like what you see, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, go into my profile, take a look at the other videos that are available. But each of my sessions is a short session. This one will be about 10 minutes. Morning wake-up yoga, if you will, since it's morning and I just woke up. And I've been doing a streak since January 2021. I'm now on day 376 of doing at least 10 minutes of yoga per day. So yoga is important to me because I am an older person, and as we age, most of the problems that we run into in terms of injuries are resulting from falls, from a lack of flexibility, a lack of balance. So I try and vary it up each day to concentrate on different things. Today I'm going to be working primarily on the hips. But before we get started on any of the sessions, we need to do two things. One is relax the mind, and the other is to loosen up all the joints that we'll be using, just so everything moves a little better. So start with your hand on your chest, over your heart, and another one on your stomach. And breathe in through your nose. And you can exhale through your nose or through your mouth. Your exhale should always be twice as long as your inhale. So again, inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Now I will typically start to loosen up the joints by going from top to bottom. So you can start with neck rotations, just very gentle rotations of the neck. Drop your shoulders down. Just rotate your head around easily. We don't want to be violent with the neck. I'll typically do 5 in each direction. Then reverse it. And once we get through with the neck, we'll move down to the shoulders and start to do some shoulder rotations. Again, we just want to loosen up the joints so we don't pull anything or do anything silly that results in an injury. Again, I'll do about 5 in each direction. And then widen that out to the shoulders. And then again, reversing. Then we'll move down our torso towards our hip. And again, just like with the neck, we're going to do some easy circles, the hips. That's what we're going to focus on today. Just getting the blood flowing as we do this. And then knees and ankles, which are a tough one for me because of balance. But we want to hold the leg up and do some ankle circles. You can see I'm not kidding about the balance. It's one of the things that I'm working on and have been working on. Just do the ankle circles easily. And one of the other things that we'll do for the hips in terms of a warm-up, we want to stretch our lower back out. So you can put your arms up in the air and bend backwards. And then move your shoulders back And breathe in. Expand your chest as you lean back. And bring our hands up over our heads. Stretch upwards. Move them behind our back. And then bend forward, and raising your shoulders up and your arms up towards your shoulders. You should feel this stretch in the back of your hamstrings, which again is a very important thing to loosen up before you do any hip exercises. You can bring your arms around in front of you and push them away in what I call a diver pose. Like you're standing on the end of a diving board, you're going to jump in. Again, that'll stretch out your lower back. You'll feel it in the top of your glutes. Then you can grab your elbows with your opposite hands, rock back and forth. And again, you'll feel it in the top of your hamstrings and your glutes. Again, getting them all loose. You can do multiple reps on all of these. Again, this is a short video, so I'm not going to go through all of them. But then to get into the hip exercises, I'm going to use a mat down on the floor. You don't need it, but if you have hardwood floors, you probably want one. And there are a couple of things that we're going to start with. The first, just as we did standing up, we're going to do some slow hip rotations. So what we're going to do is position our hands in front of our knees. Slowly rotate the hips in those circles. And then reverse it. You always want to go in both directions. You have two sides. Well, four sides actually, I guess. But you want to work them all, again, loosening them up. Then I go into what's called I call them fire hydrants because you look like a dog at a fire hydrant. You're going to lift your leg up. Again, working that hip joint for range of motion. People complain about being inflexible or losing flexibility. Typically what they're talking about is a resulting loss of range of motion from having joints, tendons, and ligaments that are tight. So we want to do these on each side. Again, 7 to 10 is my typical count. And remember to breathe as we do these. And from there, I will go into kneeling hip circles. Again, for the range of motion. About 5 in each direction for each leg. You can do this with music. I'm not playing any music right now. I might add some to the video later if I start to sound like I'm too monotone. And then again, from this tabletop or kneeling position, we can stand up into downward facing dog. When you do this, you'll feel a stretch on the back of your legs. You want to kind of walk your legs back and forth just to loosen that up. I can show it to you better this way. Again, you want to use the hips in this one rather than focusing on the others. And for strength in the hip joint, raise one leg up in a pyramid pose, 3 points, triangle pose. And again, what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. People also will add a variation on it to push them up. That's up to you. Now there are 2 stretches that I find very important for the hips. These are your hip flexors So I start them on that. I'll put one foot against the wall, go into a figure four pose, and press against the knee, gently of course. We're not looking to dislocate anything, but hold a constant pressure on it, and you'll feel it on the outside of the hip. And you're going to want to hold this for about 30 seconds. You should feel the knee start to move outward. Again, increasing that range of motion, loosening up the ligaments that are there. And you can switch legs. And you'll notice a difference side to side if you're like most normal people. My right side is much more tight than the left. So don't be too concerned if your left one folds over very easily and the right one gives you a lot of fight. But you can repeat these. If you don't have a wall, you can do it this way. But doing it this way puts a little more stress on the back. So if you elevate the leg up against the wall, you relieve some of the pressure on your back. You can then go into rocking side to side motions. Again, for range of motion, you want to lock your hands or grab yourself behind the benched knee, or the knee that does not have the foot on top of it. And then just gently rock back and forth. And what you do on the one side again, try and do it on the other. Just to loosen up both sides of your hips. Again, remembering to breathe as you do this. And rocking back and forth. You can grab your knees to your chest and do recumbent hip circles. Just like stirring the pot with your knees as the top of a ladle. And you can start to expand the range of motion by kicking your legs out. And again, both directions. And from here, we can go into a strengthening move. They're called clamshells. These are best to be done against a wall. To get the most effect, you're going to want to put your back against a wall or a sofa, chair, or anything, and then you can just start to do knee raises. Again, try and keep your back against the wall to prevent yourself from doing this with your back as opposed to doing it with the hip flexors that you're trying to strengthen. I normally do about 100 of each of these on each side. I'm not going to do that today. Just wanted to show you what those are. And again, you switch the sides. Put your back against the wall. And you're going to want to raise your upper knee back and forth. And there are two more exercises I'm going to show you for the hips in terms of strengthening that work for me. And they are two variations on a reclining bridge or a reverse bridge. So first I start with my knees up, hands flat at my sides, and just raise my butt up off the ground as high as it will go. Get an arch in the back, but you'll feel the hips working. Squeeze your butt together as you do this. Again, it's a strengthening exercise more than it is a stretch, but you will feel a stretch in your adductors on the top of your legs. as you do this. And then the other variation on this is going to be a high reverse bridge. So you put your hands underneath your shoulders. And again, you're going to put your butt down to the ground and move it up. Again, this is good for core strength and from working those glutes, abductors and adductors. Those are the strengthening exercises. One other stretch you can do for the hips is to cross your leg and then grab it with your opposite arm and turn to the side and pull gently on your knee. Again, that's going to stretch the area in here on the outside of your hip. Lean forward and you'll feel more of the stretch. Any of the stretches you want to hold for about 20 seconds at a max. After that, you're losing the effect of the stretch. And again, you want to do multiple variations on these. Multiple repetitions. And last one, I promise. Lay on your back, pull your knee up to your chest, and then as you extend your leg, pull it over to the side, pointing your toe out. And again, you're going to feel the stretch all in the side of the hip. And if you're not surprised by now, we're going to repeat it and do it on the other side. As we go over and try and gently pull it as far as it'll go. You don't need to roll over to the point where you're touching the floor, just the way you feel the stretch and just kind of hold it there. And again, remembering to breathe. Whenever we get up, you just want to roll to your side on your knees. And then kind of walk up. And always finish the way that we started. Doing some deep breaths, thanking the gods that we're able to do this. Looking forward to a great day. Looking forward to the things we're going to accomplish today. So thanks for watching. Again, my name's David, the Timeless Runner. You'll find me on YouTube and on TikTok. I do both longer sessions and shorts. Again, it's easy stand-up yoga most of the time. It can be done anywhere. Today it was kind of crummy outside, so I did it indoors, and I used my mats on the floor. But whatever is of interest to you, please, if you like it, click the like button. If you want to see the new ones when they come out, and I do one of these every day, click on subscribe. Hey, thanks.